Nowadays, in extra high voltage transmission line and the power systems, the switching surges is an important, and this will affect of the design of the insulation. All the transmission line which is working above the 220 kV will incorporate the switching surges power core voltage gap for the insulation levels. The switching surges is in a short duration transient voltage wave which is produced in the system due to the sudden opening and the closing of the switch or the circuit breaker, or due to that arcing at the fault in the system. The wavefront is not an unique. The transient voltage may be oscillatory wave or damped oscillatory wave, or the frequency ranges which is from a few hundred hertz to few kilohertz. So it also may be considered that a slow rising impulse wave for the front time will be of 0.1 to a 10 millisecond, and the tail time will be of 1 to several millisecond. Thus, the switching surges will contain the large energy compared to that the lightning. So lightning is subjected to the very short duration, but the switching surges is subjected to that very long duration. The several circuit which is incorporated for the generation of the switching surges. So we have the two circuit, that is nothing but impulse generator circuit modification to give a longer duration wave shapes. So we are using a impulse generator. There is some modification to give for a longer duration. Then we have, there is a transformer or testing transformers which is excited by the DC voltage, will gives rise to an oscillatory wave, and with these includes an Tesla coils. So these two are circuits are subject to the first one. The second one we are going to discuss in the next slide. So we know that the standard switching impulse voltage which is defined by the Indian standards and IEC, that is nothing but it is of 250 bar 2000 microsecond, and there is an front time of 250 plus or minus 50 microsecond, and there is a tail time of 2500 microsecond plus or minus a 500 microsecond. For these values R1, let's consider this the R1 and the R2 values. If there is the rise and the fall time of 100 to 1000 microsecond, or a 400 to 4000 microsecond, the value of R1 will be become, it is 1 to 5 kilo ohm, and the R2 will become 5 to 20 kilo ohm, and the R1 is about the 20 to 30%. Usually it is of the 20 to the 30% of the R2 value, and sometimes the efficiency will be of 50% or even it is lesser than that. So moreover, if the values of the charging resistors, say it is R1, if it is to be increased to the very high values, then it will become in parallel with respect to the R2 value across the discharging circuit. Suppose if we need in some damped oscillatory wave, so some modification has to be done in the circuit. That is nothing but, look at the circuit, it is R1 and R2 which are connected in parallel. So we have to reduce this value the R1, so that we are using the inductance which is connected in series to the R1 value. So resulting in the R1 will be reduces considerably, and the efficiency of the generator will be increases, and the damped oscillator wave which is subject to the frequency of 1 to 10 kilohertz, and usually the maximum value of the switching surges will be of 250 to 300 kV with an impulse of 1000 kV and 25 kilowatt seconds. So other than this is nothing but subject to the damped oscillatory wave. So by reducing this the R1 value, so we need to insert the value of the inductor to get the damped oscillatory wave. The switching surges for very high peak and long duration can be obtained by using this circuit. We can see to that the switching surges of very high peak and long duration. So C1 will be charged to the 20 to 25 kV and which is discharged to the low winding of the transformer, that is nothing but the power transformer, across the LV winding with the help of the, this is the standard sphere, which is a G. And the high voltage winding which is connected, this is nothing HV, which is connected parallel with respect to the C2 and the sphere gap S and the R2 value and the test object, that is nothing but the Cx. So from this lightning arresters 250 bar 1500 microsecond tolerance of plus or minus a 500 microsecond time to will be could be able to get this from this circuit. The thing is that efficiency obtained by this method will be of very high. The thing is the transformer should be capable to withstand very high voltages. So this is, if this is possible, then we can able to get for very high subjected to the rise and the long duration. So this is the some modification in the previous circuits. So it is nothing but subjected to that by using of a transformer. Transformer will be capable to give for very high and very high values and the long duration. Next we have generation of the impulse current. Till now we discussed that the generation of the impulse voltages. So lightning discharges, which is involves both high voltages and the high current on the transmission line. The protected devices are like the surf diodes, let's say 100 kiloamperes, have to discharge the lightning without damaging it. So therefore generation of the impulse current waveforms of the high magnitude, let's say it is even greater than 100 kiloamperes, which is to find the extensive applications in the test work as well as in the basic research on nonlinear resistors and electric arc studies and the studies which is relating to that the electric plasma in the high current discharges. Then there is some definition related to the high current impulse waveforms. The waveforms which is used in the testing of the surge diverters are 4 bar 10 and 8 bar 20 microsecond. This is nothing but subjected to the both rise and the fall time and having the tolerance which is allowed of plus or minus 10% only. Apart from standard impulse current waves, rectangular waves also can be used for the longer duration for the testing. The wave shape should be nominally, which is rectangular in shape of 0.5 to 5 millisecond with the rise and the fall times of the wave which is less than the plus or minus 10% of the total duration. And the tolerance which is allowed on the peak values is of plus 20 and of minus, that is nothing but the 0%. The duration of the wave is defined based on the total time of the wave during the current at least of 10% of its peak value. We can discuss on the circuit which is required for producing of impulse current waves. To get this, the impulse current waves, a bank of the capacitors which is connected in parallel are charged to the specified value and are discharged through a series RL circuit. So C is a representation of the bank of the capacitors which are connected in parallel and are charged through a DC values up to 200 kV. Means the each single capacitor which having the charging capacity of 200 kV. And the value of the R which is represent the dynamic resistance of the test object and the resistance of the circuit. And L is nothing but which is an air cooled high current inductor, usually a spiral tube of a few turns. So these are the different type of the waveforms we could able to get from this circuit. So this is the first one, this is second one, and also the third one. It is subjected to that the damped oscillatory, over damped, and the overshoot if there is an overshoot. Generally, according to the IAC, the second type of the waveforms which you are using, and we can able to calculate what is the front and the tail time, means the rise and the fall time from the a second waveform. So this is the general arrangement which we will do it. A bank of the capacitors which are charged parallel and discharges through in parallel circuit. So means charging and the discharging which is done in the parallel circuit. So about this that we are going to discuss the later on. Then by considering this the circuit, this is nothing but the capacitor C and the inductor L and the resistance R value. If the capacitor is charged to a V and discharges when the Spark-a gap is triggered, means there is some conduction at that moment. What is the energy which is stored across the capacitance C will transfer to the test object R. The current which is given as means C, L and the R value with the help of there is a spark gap. So V is equal to, we know that what is the maximum current which are flowing in the circuit, R into Im plus L into Dim by dt plus 1 by C integration of 0 to T Im dt. So generally circuit is of underdamped, so that we know the constant R by 2 will be less than in root of L by C. Hence, what is the maximum value which we can give it, which we can get is Im is equal to B by omega L in bracket exponential value of alpha t into sine omega t. So where we have to calculate what is alpha. Alpha is equal to, we know it is subjected to that under damping condition, it is R by 2L, and omega is equal to, that is nothing but root of 1 by LC minus R by 2L to the power of 2, that is nothing but R square by 4L square. Then the time taken for the Im to reach, means rise from 0 to the first peak value, means subjected to the peak value. So this can be given as T1, that is nothing but the front time, is equal to Tf is equal to 1 by omega sine inverse of omega divided by root of LC. So this is nothing but we can write it as tan inverse of omega divided by alpha. So what is the total duration of one cycle of the damped oscillatory wave, which we can able to get from the T2? So that is nothing but T2 is equal to, that's subjected to that the total duration. Okay, it is pi divided by a root of 1 by LC minus R by 2L to the power of 2. That is nothing but R square by 4L square. So it can be seen from that. So Im value is normally independent on the value of V and the C from this equation. So the energy which is given as W is equal to half into C into V square. So the effective value of inductance L. So it is also clear from that this equation that a low value of the inductance which is needed in order to get the high current magnitude for a given charging of the value of the voltage, it is V. So the present practice as per the IEC standards, so I told in the previous slide that it is adopted is second waveform, which is given as from that we can able to get the Im value. So this is nothing but e to the power of alpha minus alpha t and e to the power of plus beta t minus of e to the power of minus beta, so on. So that is nothing but where alpha is equal to minus R by 2L and beta is equal to in root of R square by 4L square minus 1 by LC. So with this definition, the time to front will become, so that is equal to T1 is equal to Tf, that is equal to 1 by beta tan hyperbolic inverse of in bracket beta by alpha. So where the tail time T2 is the complex function of the beta and the alpha values.